we want to welcome everybody for joining our announcement today. So up in front of you, we are at NEAA for 2025. And so in front of you, you have Brad Davidson. He is our Director of Business Development. And then on the other side, we have Ali Mahmood. He is our founder. So I wanted to start out with some questions because we are at NEAA and there have been a lot of conversation about AI. So I wanted to ask you to, Brad, what are some insights you've learned about AR so far?
Yeah, great question, Jen. As you mentioned, there is a lot of talk about AI more and more every year here at the acquirers trade shows. And the biggest thing is data-driven decisions. So AI is able to be extremely efficient in analytics and analyzing those analytics, and as well as helping the business to make the right decisions to improve efficiencies, increase revenue, among many other things.
And then Ali, did you have anything to add to that on insights you're learning about AI?
I mean, in general, what I know about AI is a very broad subject, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about AI as well. But from my basic, very naive understanding of AI, it is, especially in our space, right? It could do a lot of really cool things for us, especially like if you go to ChatGPT, like before, like if you wanted to go to Google, do some query on something, you have to hit it'll take you a good 30 minutes to find the right answer. But in AI, let's say if you use ChatGPT or whatever source you use, right, you can get a response to a query within like 5 minutes. So it saves a lot of time. So I think there are computational powers that AI offers, right? AI is not going to basically replace human beings, for example, right? A lot of people think AI will replace, which is not going to happen. We have all heard that robots are going to take over human beings, right?
Yep.
But I think for us, basically, if the main purpose of AI is fast computational powers, I think how we can implement it in our business, in our line of work, is kind of like, reporting queries, for especially if you're working with business as a restaurant or liquor store or supermarket. They have to go through tons of reports to find the right answer, right? So with AI, what we could probably do is kind of like enhance those reporting queries. Like, let's say if I want to find out how many bottles of wine did I sell last night and which server sold that bottle of wine, I could just put a query in there and get my response within 5 minutes rather than looking at 10 different reports, right? Also, sales profitability analysis could be very enhanced at a user's fingertips, especially finance managers who are managing businesses. They can just get a very good glance of what's going on in their business with a quick snapshot. One thing that's happened recently is the democratization of AI, meaning that, before, if you want to get the tokens that you utilize for each query was pretty expensive. I don't know the exact price, but now I think it's like 40 times less, right? So there's a lot of innovation happening in AI. We really don't want to get carried away with AI, but AI can do a lot of things for you, especially when you look at specific use cases, right? You can, from what I've heard, you can use I don't want to advertise any company, but there are a lot of AIs. Anthropologic has an AI, Llama has an open AI, ChatGPT also has an open AI, DeepSeek has an open AI. So you can actually download the servers of any of these in your office and use their APIs to program stuff. So that's just my high-level understanding of AI at this time.
That's great.
Yeah.
And there's been several breakout sessions talking about AI and how it is here and now transforming businesses. So I'm curious, what's Cygnus's response to that? How are we going to take steps to make sure we're on board with how AI is transforming businesses?
Brad, you want to take it because I didn't attend any of the webinars?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there have been, as you mentioned, a few different breakout sessions, and they are all centered around AI and AI products. And as Ali mentioned, companies are out there using these open source APIs and data that the AI is compounded to build products and services as well for businesses. So, what we would like to do is be included in that and become one of those companies as well before we're left behind.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. So it's like a fast learning, and we're in a fast-paced environment, right? Like the dot-com in the 90s, right? If you're on If you have .com, you are successful. If you don't have .com, that's not the let's not. I'm not going to stereotype it. Like a lot of companies fail with .com too, and I can see the same thing happening here again. So we have to be kind of careful on what we use for AI. Let's say if you're using a third-party contractor, make sure he's not overselling you on something, right? So you have to be very careful. And the best way how you can use AI, in my opinion, is kind of like look at a use case. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of investors who are in this tech environment, and when AI came out, we asked them the question, "What do you think about AI?" I'm like, their basic response was like, what is the use case? What problem is it solving? AI, just AI won't solve the problem. So you have to figure out a use case and then perhaps use AI, to take care of that use case. So pretty excited about AI. I think it's 2025 is going to bring it's going to be pretty exciting when it comes to technology. I think we are going it's going to be leap years, right? Where decades nothing happens, this week's things will happen. Like before we came to like last year when we had MWAA, nobody even talked about AI. Now like I had like you got approached by a couple of guys selling AI, I got approached by a couple of guys selling AI. So AI is there, and we just, like you mentioned, Brad, like we have to be a part of it, but we have to make sure what are the use cases, what are the benefits for AI, for our end users.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure people are seeing our social media. We have an event coming up next week. Can you share anything about that? Kind of maybe some exciting announcements you might have coming up?
Yeah, so the event is Monday on the 24th of March, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be on LinkedIn. I'm super excited about what I want to hear. Want to hear something about AI. Again, like me, I'm not I don't know much about AI, just general what you hear on YouTube and do some research and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about how we are building AI as an organization, right? Which is pretty cool because, for a small organization investing in AI right now, and using in-house resources, and people are learning how to do those things. So this is actually pretty cool, because one thing that gets me excited is like when somebody learns something new. Like I learned something new, I'm excited about it, right?
Absolutely.
We all get excited about something, right? So that's pretty cool. I would definitely want you guys to attend the webinar, and see what we have done so far. Maybe you can emulate the same in your line of work as well. So
Great.
Absolutely.
Great. And then, Brad, I want to turn it back over to you as NEA as a whole. So what's been kind of your favorite part of the show so far? Maybe some action items moving forward?
Okay. Yeah. I love the breakout sessions. I enjoy everything about the shows, really, Jen. Being able to network with other industry professionals. Ali said something about being excited about learning things, right? And sure, we get to meet a lot of people, and that part is great, but we get to learn so much about, what's up and coming in the industry, what's new, what's old, what's out, what's not working anymore. What are the new problems that merchants are facing with new technology, right? So I think that again, they're talking a lot about AI, and our industry is positioned really well because our clients are all about efficiency, and so we're positioned to know what those issues are that merchants are having on a daily basis. The economy up or down, right? They're always looking for ways to increase revenue.
Great, thank you. And so I want to close on any final thoughts you guys might have of either NEA or the industry, or where Cygnus is headed and how we're integrating into that. And it could be either of you.
NEA, I mean, these association events, Acquire Association events are a great tool to meet people, network with people. You meet the good old faces that you've been working with for a long time. It's great to share a drink with somebody and stuff like that. So it's amazing. Like these events are really awesome, very helpful, especially for new guys who are coming into the field. It's very helpful to them, right? And plus, at the same time, Brad mentioned something about payments, right? Payments, in my opinion, has been a leading innovator. Besides the Silicon Valley, like payments have been a leading innovator of technology. Like we are pretty open to adapting new technology, which is pretty awesome compared to like a conventional banking environment. They are like so behind on certain things, right? And look at all this technology that we have, and some of the competition have done an amazing job too, like Toast, Square, and stuff like that. I was on a call with EY the other day, and they were talking about this company adding insurance. Stripe, for example, is adding insurance, adding payroll, adding all these services to their existing client base. So these are exciting things, and everybody's like innovating, so which is amazing, right? When it comes to Cygnus, right, I think we are at the crossroads where we feel this is where we feel the market is right now. The market is going to be decided by technology, and you have to stack a few things of technology if you want to make that solution sticky with the end user, right? I think the credit card machine days are literally gone, right? Even if you're doing a credit card machine, has to be a smart terminal, right? Like a point or a square terminal, right? It's just a Verifone terminal or PAX terminal is not going to do the trick for you, right? You also have to think about like ways how I can increase, offer more business, like how I can bring more business to my client, right? So you got to think about marketing, you got to think of e-commerce store, you got to think about like loyalty gift, email campaigns and all that, right? That will make it sticky. Otherwise, it'll just be challenges. Just like there's some examples of Toast, right? Toast is charging 3.5%. I mean, I don't think you can get away with 3.5%, right?
I can't.
2.25% merchants, yeah, complain about the rates, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So the reason why is that has built a pretty awesome technology around it. It's not perfect, but it's pretty awesome right now. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for everybody that are here and elsewhere to kind of think outside the box and kind of like adapt the technology. Once you adapt the technology, you have more chances of being successful if you don't, right? So that's what we want to do. It's like we are launching a Compass POS hopefully by June this year. We're going to add more stuff to it, learn from like the big players out there like Stripe, Toast, what they have done, it's all about integration, scaling, and all that. So we want to accomplish that hopefully, by the middle of this year and see what happens. So I'm pretty excited about Cygnus. That's our main, initiative for 2025.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking to the excitement, we hope that everyone can tune into our webinar. When is it?
It's next week on Monday.
Monday,
11.
11. Yeah.
Okay. I hope everyone can tune into our webinar on Monday, the 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And we have some exciting news that's kind of been leaked here today. But Cygnus is looking to innovate with the rest of the industry. And we've been doing that, and we are ready to make an exciting announcement. So please tune in and see what we've got in store for Q3, Q4, and
Yeah.
the rest of the days.
Okay.